Well, everybody, welcome back. For those of you that missed Summit, I'm sure you got to see our experience as everybody was sharing it on their Facebook pages, and hopefully you bought your ticket for next year. It was on sale for $145 throughout the weekend, but now the price has gone up. But I highly recommend getting your ticket early just to make sure that it doesn't get sold out or anything. And putting skin in the game and just saying, I'm committed to being here a year from now, it will help you to move forward in your business, because it's just basically saying, I'm committed and I'm sticking around, and no matter what happens, in my business, I'm going to stick around. And I think the overall theme that I saw for Summit was just consistency and patience, and most people don't have patience. Most people don't want to put in the hard work that it takes to get to where they want to be. So what happens is a lot of people come to this business and they see it as something that's going to fix something in their life, and when it doesn't happen in like 1 to 2 to 3 months, they quit. And if they'd be willing to stick on their personal development plan and find what kind of personal development they need to do to develop themselves in the person that they need to be able to lead people out of their mess, then they'll ultimately have a good experience. It doesn't matter if it takes you a year to reach a certain goal. It's about the experience. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So what happens is a lot of people are just trying to get to the destination instead of enjoying the journey. And if we could all learn from that and just say that we're going to enjoy that journey every step of the way, it doesn't matter where we are in our business, it's going to reflect, and it's going to, we're going to be putting out positive energy, and we're going to be getting back positive energy. It's when we're frustrated and upset and angry and feeling like we're not good enough or we're not where we're supposed to be, that reflects in our business, and we attract negativity through it. So I don't want to take up a lot of time for me to talk. Happy August 1st, everybody. I hope that you're on a Team Cup team. You have until midnight tonight, I think. I think they extended the registration to get on a team. If you're not on a team, I highly recommend getting on a team, and I highly recommend really engaging with that team and, working your little booty off to help as many people as possible this month. It's not about the prizes. It's just about to see how far you can go, to see how many people's lives you can change. So set some big goals for yourself. And if you set a goal of helping, 20 people over the next month, and you help 5, you're more likely to help 5 if you set that goal of 20 than if you say, I'm going to only help 1. Most likely you might not even help any, So if you set your goals higher, don't feel like if you miss them, it's like a reflection of you not being good enough. It's just simply, sometimes you have to set lofty goals, and then it helps you to get to a certain point, So anyway, enough of me talking. I would like to hear from anyone who wants to share. I'd love to hear about Summit, your likes, your dislikes, if you have some, because corporate does ask for our feedback, and we are able to, I have a corporate liaison that I speak with once a month. We have a call, and every week we have a mastermind group, and I can give him feedback as to what people are saying about Summit, how they can improve it. And they really do listen to us. And they really do make it a point to improve the experience based on what we say. So what did you like the most? What were your dislikes? And, if you have any takeaways that you want to share with the team. Does anybody want to go first?
I can go.
Okay.
Well, this was my first summit, and I want to tell a little bit about where I started my journey until summit, but I did awesome starting off. I had so much, I feel like I did really good the first 3 months, and kind of my expectations and just life in general, being, busy working full time and having some health issues, I kind of just got a little tired and a little run down. So I went in to Summit, and I think the biggest thing for me is I got the reason why I started this in the first place. I got my belief and my mindset set right through this, and I left knowing that this is possible, that the reasons that I did start are good reasons, and I was just reminded of them and the importance of them. And so, but I think the biggest thing was just the belief and the mindset that, it is going to take patience, it's going to take consistency, and it is something that I have to work on in and out every single day. And if I don't do that, I'm not going to get the kind of results that I want. So I think I definitely agree with consistency being the biggest thing. So I definitely can see myself in this for the long run. Like, I believe I left knowing that I can do this. But I did get a little tired. Like, it was a lot of information to kind of process. So that would be my biggest thing that I would say was difficult. Was it takes me a little while to process information, and then you have so much bombarded at you. It was a little difficult, but it was very good.
Thank you for sharing. I'm so happy to hear that it helped you with your belief, because that's what I was hoping for you,
Right.
that it would do for you. And I'm glad that that's what it did, because I truly believe that you can do this. I think that you're going to be awesome, and you're going to help so many people through this opportunity. So I'm glad you got that. And I'm hoping that they kind of change it a little bit next year, because this was my 5th summit, you guys. And so it was like, for me, I mean, none of the information was anything new to me. I was like, seriously, I could have given all these talks, but I think that it was really important for everybody on the team to hear from these people that weren't me, because they spoke it in a different way, and they instilled it in you in a different way than I would ever be able to. Sometimes you hear it from one person, and the way that they say it, for whatever reason, it just clicks with you. And I could say it to you 20 times and you could not get it. The way I'm communicating it isn't effective. And then somebody else communicates it to you, and you're just like, boom, light bulb. And that is what the point of, being there is. And I don't mind. I don't care who you get it from. I just hope that you get it. Like, it doesn't matter if it comes from me, if it comes from any other leader on this team, or someone from Summit, a total random stranger. It's not about the ego and you getting everything from me. That's why I think Summit is such an important experience for those people who, are newer coaches, especially newer coaches. They need to be there, and they need to experience it and feel it. So I'm glad you got that out of it, and thank you for the feedback. And who else wants to share?
I will. There was a lot of things about it. I loved the fact that it was so organized. I thought that everything went smoothly. I love the fact that you could tell that the business was totally for people, for transforming their lives. Like the other day, where they had people stand up in the we were in the ballroom, and they had people stand up that had lost 20 pounds, 30 pounds, and one of the guys in there had lost 182 pounds. So that was just so awesome to see, that these really are people, not just coaches in it for the business, but customers who have lost so much weight and they want to pay it forward. So that was awesome. Another thing that was a big takeaway for me was when they went around the room and they wanted to know how many summits people had been there. So I would say probably half of our room, it was their first summit. The other half, they had been there at least 2 times. And then it really, really dwindled down from 3, 4. One lady was there. This was her 6th summit. I guess she has been to all of them. But it just showed me that so many people don't stick it out. They're good for the first year. Maybe they're good for 2 years. But then after that, it seemed like it really dwindled off. I love the general opening session. All the information that was put out was so good. I could have done without a full celebration, that closing one. Yeah, it was kind of a little bit goofy with the Muppets and stuff like that. So I could have just done without that whole part. But overall, it was really good.
In my mastermind group, that was the feedback that was the most common, where people were like, what was with the whole puppet routine? And it was too much. They said there was too much puppets. And I kind of think what they're trying to show is that it's not just all business, it's fun, and they have fun too, and they have a sense of humor too. So we definitely mentioned that like last year, the elite coaches, we were able to walk across the stage as our name was being called, and we got to walk down the stage and like down this runway and off the stairs so we could get a nice picture of ourselves, you know, that we had to post on social media. And for me, it was my second year, so it wasn't like, to me, I wasn't like totally crushed that they didn't do the recognition that way. But I know that the first time elite coaches, I kind of felt sorry, like I felt bad for them because it was just like a cluster. It was just like everybody's like Premier got more recognition than elite, and Premier is like not as high of a level. So I think that I think that they cut some things out that they should have left. And I think that they kind of had too much of that. So I appreciate that feedback. I'm really glad you were able to come, Lisa, because I know at one point, you know, it was a question. Both of you and Shelly were kind of like questionable, and you both came, and that's a great point. That, you know, it was my 5th summit, and I know that most people haven't been to Summit 5 times. I mean, we actually had a lot of people that came to Summit with us last year that didn't end up, they're not here now. They're not on the team anymore. So, you know, of all the people that went, there are going to be some people that won't be there next year. I do think that this year, the people that were there, I think that they are more serious about the business, which is cool. But definitely we're going to see some attrition. We're going to lose some coaches, and, you know, that's what happens. Unfortunately, I can't be the one to make you stick around, and you can't be the one to make your coaches stick around. They have to want it inside of themselves. All we can do is, you know, encourage them to not give up on their dreams before it's too late, you know, before they do. So I really appreciate you for sharing. Thank you.
Welcome.
Anybody else? Who else wants to share? I know Tanasia has her baby. So Finn, she said Finn is acting up. Tanasia, are you able to chat or no, girl? You have to stay muted.
Good.
It sounds quiet.
You there? Yeah. Chris just took him upstairs not too long ago. So
Okay, cool.
I think we're good.
All right. I'd love to hear what you have to say.
I was completely moved by Summit. I thought I had a lot of skepticism going in, not about like what I wanted to do with the business, but I was skeptical about having the type of experience that I don't know, like I was afraid I was going to go to Summit and it was going to be more about selling, and there would be more like, you know, getting your volume up and doing all this other stuff, and there would be less of a team feel to it. But I don't know. I was just sitting in the auditorium and having Carl sit there and tell us that we had to start this with love really made an awesome difference to me. I think it was really a powerful moment for me to know that, you know, this multi-billion-dollar company CEO is sitting there in a chair on stage telling us that we have to start this with love and build relationships. To me, that was really, really powerful and really moving. And I think listening to some of the coaches' stories and like how they began, and knowing that this has saved so many people from their rock bottom just really makes me want to go out and share my story even more. Because I've been timid, and I've actually had a lot of negative experiences this last year with some close friends not really being supportive and thinking that I've kind of jumped off the deep end and gone cuckoo. So I've been a little intimidated to just put it all out there. And I think having this experience at Summit and having been around you guys and like, you know, having that face-to-face connection and knowing that we're all real people that are just trying to make a difference really just made me have a lot more heart in it coming home, and has made me feel a lot more brave. So I hope that for anyone that has reservations or that is nervous or, you know, thinks like, I don't know, for me, it was kind of like this seemed too good to be true. You know, like it seems like, oh my gosh, this company's amazing and it's donating to charities and it's doing all these wonderful things. Like I was just waiting for the other shoe to drop. But going to Summit and seeing it in person just made it even more real that this is the truth. Like it is an awesome company and it is authentic and we're doing really great things. So if anybody has any reservations about moving forward in their business or going full in, all in, I think Summit's the thing to do, because I came home like with a fire under my ass. Like I'm ready to go. So, and I think a lot of the girls that were there feel the same way. So.
Yeah, I think that they really changed their messaging this year. I think that over the last 12 months, they've really realized that them, showing these, success stories of like, say, for example, Bonnie Engel or whatever, like going from, nothing to making a 6-figure income in a year. I think that they realized that that wasn't what was motivating for people. And it wasn't allowing people to reach their full potential because all they were doing was comparing themselves to these people. So I think over the last, 12 months, they've really changed their messaging. And I'm really excited about like where I think they finally figured out their messaging, like to be balanced in the middle and not one way or the other. So it was really cool to see they did a really good job with that. I'm really happy you were able to experience it. And I'm glad I got to hang out with you. I know.
Same here.
I know that I wasn't around like towards Friday and Saturday. I was trying to rest up and not get myself sick. So
it's exhausting. I will say that much. I'm exhausted, but it was so worth it.
I literally like slept for 2 days already. So anyway, yeah. Well, thank you for sharing and, to many more summits in your future.
I'm excited about it. Thank you guys for being so welcoming. Everybody that I met on the trip, I miss you guys already. So.
Cool. Is anybody else the first timers? We'll try to get through like the first timers. Celia's giving.
Yeah. So I took away a lot from Summit. But I felt like in the trainings, they were really long, like really drawn out. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting here for 3 hours at a time. But I was all right because I learned a lot. I took really good notes on my phone, so that was awesome. I did think that the thing that it really made me like think was, wow, our team is really good at training because most of the things that we learned in the training that we were in, our team already does. Like as Aloha, like the 7-day training is on point. It's so awesome because most of the stuff that they were telling us in those trainings were like the 7-day training, and that was awesome. Also, I thought that, but they did, one thing they did say was that like we should tell people how hard we work instead of like, oh, it's just so fun. It's all so fun. We should also let them know that we work hard as coaches. And I thought that was awesome. I enjoyed meeting everybody and working out with the super trainers, and the super workout was fantastic. So I loved it. I got so much stuff like from it. I was like reading all my notes last night and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be such a good month. I'm so excited.
It was really good to meet you.
I was like, yeah!
I wish I would have gotten to see you guys more. I was so exhausted. I couldn't do it. I couldn't get up. I couldn't get out of my bed. Like once I was back to my hotel room, I was like, I can't move. I literally went to like, there was like this German restaurant that was like literally like a block away from my hotel and just ate there and had a beer because I was like, I really just need to
you just need to decompress like
by myself, so much energy and so many people around. So
yeah, there was a lot of people there. And I was like really nervous going there because it was like so out of my comfort zone. I'm such like I'm not an introvert at all. Like usually when I see somebody, I'm like, oh, hi, how are you? And I go and talk to everybody, but I was so afraid that I was going to like say the wrong thing to somebody and they would be like, oh, you're weird, get away from me. But then after a day, I was like, oh, these people are so cool. They're so nice. And some of them are like so much like me. So I kind of loosened up a bit, but I was like, so like, at first. It was awesome. I recommend it, highly recommend it. And I already bought my ticket for next year.
Yay.
Yeah.
Putting your skin in the game. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. My feedback to them was definitely that I think they need to shorten the session so that we're available to have more time to spend with the team. Because for me, it was like on any downtime that I had, I was just wanting to rest because I was so tired.
Right.
I think or I had to like skip sessions to rest, but then I felt bad because I'm like missing stuff. And I'm like, me as a leader, like, I'm like, I don't think I really even needed to go to any of that. Like, I don't need to be inspired by Carl Deichler. I've heard him speak a million times, I mean, this was And like the Janelle Summers, like that panel, and like Melanie Mitchell and Christina and Becky, I'm like, first of all, I've heard all this before and I could like say all that, you know? I'm like, so I asked them if there's a way for them to like say what they're, to maybe post in the app more about what they're going to be speaking on, like a little bit more detailed, so people can actually know like what they're going to be talking about, so they can decide if that's like, does that apply to me, or can I skip that and not feel bad? So he was like, I was
Stephanie, Kristen, and myself did decide that we think we went to like the wrong hall. Like we went like, the spells, but we picked it so early that by the time we got to Summit, we were like, oh, we should have went to one like a different hall. We were like, oh well, you live and you learn.
The other thing I mentioned is maybe they could do like different tracks, like for new coaches, and then for like diamond to like 4-star, and then like 5-star and above. Because like I said, as far as me going to those sessions, my time would have been better spent resting during all the sessions and just spending time with the team. Because for me, it wasn't really applying. Like it's all stuff that I've heard or I know or I'm doing. I mean, not all of it. Actually, the first day there was a leadership one with that Vito and Trina Gray did that I thought they knocked it out of the park. Like that day, I was like, whoa, those 3 sessions that I was in, that one was like, this was worth sitting in. But like to go to 6 different sessions to have one worth sitting in for me was like, you know, I didn't end up going to the second day. I skipped the second day. And then the general sessions, I wish they would say when they're going to have the like when they're going to, like Gary Vee, I wish I would have known when Gary Vee was going to be speaking, so that I could have skipped like everything else and just gone to Gary Vee. Because I feel like, here's my advice. If you're a newer coach and you're having trouble with belief, you need to go to those general sessions. Because those general sessions are what put belief, like instill the belief, like they're the same as me and I can do this too. Like for new coaches, that's what I think those general sessions are for. Now the coach-led trainings are more like tangible things like that you can do, like more like nitty-gritty stuff, which can be super overwhelming to sit for 3 hours like in nitty-gritty stuff, you know? So I don't know. I'm hoping that they listen to our feedback and make some changes, but I think all in all, it was amazing. I think they did a really good job. So I know that a lot of people got that belief that they needed from being there. I think that was like the big thing for newer coaches, to build that belief. And I think it was through those general sessions that they really got that. Krista, did you want to share?
Okay.
Thank you, Celia, for sharing. I appreciate it.
So I actually was really, I don't know if it was skeptical going into it. I didn't know what to expect. I actually, the week before, was thinking about not going. I just haven't been working the business really strong the past couple months, because I knew I just needed to take some time for me, and breathe some life into me. So I thought, okay, I'm not sure what I'm going to get out of this, but we're just going to give it a chance anyways, and see, what this is all about. I have a background actually in leadership. So I thought, well, if anything, it'll apply somewhere else in my life. So, I'll probably get something out of it. But I tell you what, I left that place and, I'm absolutely on fire. I found my why, coming out of it. And 2, I think coaching can be a very isolating thing. You feel very alone.
Yeah.
And I literally live in a cornfield in Indiana. Like my house is surrounded by 3 cornfields. So you feel all alone. And the way I think and the way I act, I literally have a tattoo on my wrist that says outcast, because I already don't fit in, and because I think differently than people. And that's always been a struggle for me. It was really cool to go and experience that there is other people out there that, oh, sorry, there's my kid. Night, buddy. That there is other people out there that think like me, that are different like me. I can develop my tribe. It doesn't have to be just, the 15 people that I've had experience with within Beachbody. I love our team. Don't get me wrong. It's not that. It's just what else is out there, to see what they tell you to be yourself and be unique, to bring in your tribe, but what does that look like? So this really gave me that opportunity to really see what that looked like. As soon as I went 2 doors down in the condo and I met Cassie and Tanasia, I was like, okay, there's my people. Like, I had never met them before, and I was just like at complete peace. And I was like, I can do this. There's people out there just like me, and I'm not in my cornfield anymore. So I'm on fire. I absolutely loved it. I've already started 3 conversations today with a different perspective. And even my parents who have been on this journey with me for 10 months, my mom is obese, like morbidly obese. She is adamant against everything. And she was like, okay, so what's in the Shakeology stuff? Like, just from seeing my personality change. And my dad was like, but none of your programs, like, your stuff's too hard. And I just went at it from a different perspective. And he was like, oh, well, maybe I could do that. So, like, my husband's we got a ticket for him to sit next to me at Summit next year, like in the sessions. So I don't know. We're on fire. We're ready.
It sounds to me like you gained a lot of confidence, and that's the truth. That's what Summit does. I think it just really builds belief in new coaches. And I love that you said it's like you found your tribe, like your people, and you know more that you can go after your avatar versus trying to go after somebody else's avatar. And that's awesome. And then the fact that you feel that is like the primary reason I think everybody needs to go to Summit, is because as a coach, we're so isolated, like building this business at home, in a computer screen all day long. And if that's the only interaction that we're having, you remove this computer screen and you're literally staring into space, typing. It's not this isn't a person. This is a freaking device, and to be able to feel each other and hug and touch. And that's what I'm saying. Like, those time with your team, that's the most important part of Summit to me. And so I'm hoping, like I said, that they build in some more time for us to be able to interact with one another and do team gatherings and things like that. So I'm really glad you had an amazing experience, and I can't wait to see how your business grows from that experience.
Yeah. Exciting.
Thank you for sharing. I think there was a couple more people that went for the first time. Angie, if you want to share, you don't have to.
I will. I can't get my video to come on, but I'll share. This was my first time, and last year.
I just asked you to start it. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now, yep, your video is working.
Okay, yeah, this was I'm laying in bed here. My last time, or not last year, I wanted to go, but I was very hesitant to go. There's no way my husband was going to agree to let me go to Nashville with a whole bunch of girls. But over the last year, he's seen what this has done for me. And I was like, I'm going to Nashville, by the way. I didn't even tell him I bought the ticket until a month ago. But I sat there and I watched all the live streams last year, and I'm like, there is no way I am not going to do this year. Honestly, I started out working the business in the beginning, and I just kind of I had fear. Every time I went through that training and I had to share something about myself, I stopped every time. And, I've slowly been gaining that confidence. But when I hit that summit, it was just like the most inspirational thing ever, just meeting all of those people, and which was really being in big crowds of people alone was like uber fear for me, just because of some stuff that happened to me in my past. And, just hearing, I think Gary Vee was probably my very favorite part, one of my very favorite parts, because he just reminded me of what I can do. I'm a businesswoman. I'm silly and I'm goofy and I'm crazy, but I'm a businesswoman. I support $65 million of revenue. I have a GED. I don't even have a college education. I moved up with hard work. And he just reminded me that I know how to do this. I know how to go find the tools. I know how to use the tools. I just need to, drop my excuses and get moving with it. I've got the talent. I can do it. But it was incredible. Would say that our team has awesome training. I have not implemented the training, but when I sat there in those coach sessions, I'm like, and they're doing the social media and all of that, I'm like, looked at Jamie, I'm like, we know all of this. We've seen time in training. It's in every training that we've been put in that I've actually just looked at and never acted on. So now I'm going to act on it. I have the confidence to do that now. And it was, just meeting everyone in person and hearing their stories and, seeing what they've overcome. It was truly, truly inspirational and really gave me a lot of confidence to get moving forward. So, and I am going to say that workout was the most amazing thing. It's like up there. It's like, underneath childbirth for me. It's like it was that big of a moment for me because when I was 16 years old, I got ran over by a car in the middle of the street. There was a crowd of people, and I closed myself off for over 20 years from people. And I was afraid to cross the street at one point. I was afraid to walk along the street. I friggin' worked out in the middle of the street with 25,000 people, and that I just saw things flash through my eyes, and I'm like, I'm here and I'm present and I can do this. And it brought tears to my eyes. I fought back tears that whole workout, and I just kept moving and just watching all the people around me. And it was amazing. So, but I agree. If they could list the stuff that is included in each training, that would be great so that we can select and know where we really need to be.
Yeah. I think that's really, if they can get that straight, I think it would really show people like what they can really, I don't think that this descriptions tell you enough about what's going on in the training. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if they listen to our feedback. But thank you so much for sharing. That's awesome. I love the story about working out. I read your story that you posted on your Facebook, and I was like, wow, that's really awesome.
But I came home that night and I'm just going through it and I'm just sitting there crying like, oh my God, this was so awesome. My husband's like, are you okay? I was like, you don't understand. That's awesome. But thank you so much. And the cocktail hour was really great too. That was great to just walk up to people and talk to them and have something in common, and it was easy. So it was good.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate you coming. I'm glad it was good for you. I think that I don't know if we have any more newbies. Do we have any more newbies? There's a couple of phones that are on, and I don't know who these people are. So we've got like a 614 number, a 618 number, and two 928 numbers. So were any of you guys at Summit? Or any of you guys?
So I have.
Okay, now, hello? Who's 614? Hello? Okay, who is 618? 964? 618? Anybody 618? No. All right, how about 928-587? 4207. Is that your area code, Kelly? I heard you clear your throat, but I didn't hear you say anything.
It's one of my coaches. It's Bernice.
Okay, it's Bernice.
Okay, so those two are yours, I think, those 928. So the 614 and the 618.
614 Coach Tina.
Okay, so that's not okay, and then 618. All right, cool. So we got through everyone that went for the first time. Now let's hear from people that went for the second or third time, and I think that's Stephanie, Callie, and Joanne.
There you go. Talking to her. I'll go. Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. So I do agree. Like I went with Stephanie's group on the sessions, and it was very redundant. I do like the idea that you suggested of doing like where you're at in your coaching career to kind of give you directions as to what session to go to. I mean, it says a lot what Cecilia said about how our training is in the team. If a new coach went to this and she felt like she already knew it. So I think that's huge. Kudos to everybody who's rinsing and repeating, because that's where it gets created and that's where it sticks. So good job. I loved the Gary speech. He is amazing. I even was able to get a picture with him. Kristen and we stopped him and we took a picture. She's the one that saw him, and I'm like, oh, I'm so going to go too. I like his ethics, his background, his values. He seemed to really have things on point. And then also the comedian that came on. That to me, I mean, that was a curveball. I was not expecting something like that. And I think that kind of ties into the puppets, like to show that it's not always about business, you know, in a different way. But I really liked how she brought a whole different flavor to Summit this year with her jokes, and how we're always saying, be yourself, because you are the key. Like, I loved how Carl said, people are so tired of spending money on things because nothing works, that by the time they come to you, you get 7 no's before you get 1 yes, you know? And guys, you gotta hush. I'm on here. You gotta hush. And so I love how he says that. Sorry, guys. Because it's the truth. And then it totally tied in with the comedian, how she's cerebral palsy and she's like totally herself and sharing her story. Like, we all have a story. So I really like that. And then the happy hour I thought was on point. That was awesome to be able to go in there and talk to people. I know Stephanie was super excited to catch up with Denny. I know that was big for her, and that was a great time to be able to do it. I did not go to the closing because as a coach whose team is growing, I really want to save something that I can share with them. So next year for Team Strength United, I will be sitting in the stands with them as they experience something for their first. Yeah, I'm excited next year to see their expressions and to see what they do. But overall, I think the best suggestion would be to gauge your sessions off of where you're at in your coaching career. So, oh, and the P90X guru guy, and there was like a SWAT team guy. They talked about their before and afters and their stories. I was telling Daniel, I don't know why, but they totally resonated with me. It was just the things that clicked with me was like sticking with the program. And when he said that he was failing the fitness test that he designed for his police officers to pass, he realized there was a problem. And the day that he went to jump over the fence and the fence went down, like, I don't know. I don't know why, because I'm not a guy. I don't know where the common strands were, but for some reason it clicked. And then I really enjoyed the couples. I didn't really care so much for the games, like what animal is your mother-in-law. Like, I kind of checked out during that moment. But when they started talking about how to balance things as a family, how this is, again, where I connected, obviously, because of baseball. The dad, his son was pitching for the first time, and he took a call. And his son from the pitching mound looked right at him like, really, Dad? Like, this is the first time, I'm the starting pitcher. That hit home close, because I know there have been many times where it's not been as, the first time Evan's been the starting pitcher, but there have been times where I've been plugged in and he's playing, and sometimes I have to do what I got to do, and I realize it's a temporary place. But I really liked the couple thing, and I honestly believe that I know my team, because a lot of the coaches are married and have families, that would be huge for them to have that feedback. So, and yeah, I had a great time. I thought the condo idea was great. I'm going to rinse and repeat it with my team. I already told them I'm going to start looking for a place by the convention center or whatever it is in New Orleans and start kind of doing the same thing Stephanie did, to where I had everything paid off before I even went. So it was awesome.
VRBO is great, or you know, what is that other site? Airbnb and VRBO. VRBO is where we found those condos.
ARBO?
VRBO.
Okay.
.com.
Okay, cool.
Like vacation rentals something. Vacation rentals something.
Okay.
VRBO. vacationrentalsbo.com. I don't know what it is.
Oh, cool. I wrote it down. That'll help huge, because I'm just going to, when it comes time, I'll put it on there. And like I did with Steph, just sent her money every month through PayPal and had it paid off before I went. And for me, it helped with anxiety, to where I didn't feel like I was dropping a lump sum of money. And I literally saved $150 to be able to go into the core and have a shopping spree. It was amazing.
Vacation Rentals by Owner, Callie.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Tanasia.
Yep.
Good job, T.
Sabrina was so excited about knowing your name. She's like, how do you, she called you something.
Tanasia.
And then she, because we were talking at lunch the first day, we went to lunch, and she was like, she said your name, and I was like, it's Tanasia. I was like, but you can just call her T. And she's like, well, how do you, I'm like, so we finally came up with Asia, Tanasia. I was like, okay, so when you see her, just say Asia and then go Tanasia. And she's like, no, I got it. I got this. And she's like,
she said it wrong, and she's like, oh my God, I effed it up. Like, she was so mad at herself. She's so funny.
I'm like, just call her T. Just call her T.
Yeah,
is that why you have a lot of people call you T, because they can't pronounce your name?
Yeah. Just to make life easier for everyone involved.
Yeah, I got it. I think I was calling you. I think once I heard you say it once, then I knew how to say it. So, you know, it's been fine for me. But I know some people's brains don't work like that. So,
yeah. It's all good.
Thank you for sharing, Callie. I appreciate it. I'm glad you were able to come again, and you're gonna have a team there with you next year. So that's really exciting. Exciting stuff. Callie, by the way, everybody is gonna be, I think, a diamond coach on Wednesday or Thursday morning. There's some little inactive, active things going on with Brooklyn's coach account. We don't know what's going on yet, but we're hoping you're going to get straightened out. And Callie's going to be a diamond coach. Yay!
All right, girl.
Yeah, she has all of her ducks in a line. So congratulations on that. I hope everything gets fixed before Wednesday. And then Stephanie and Joanne, you are the last two of the previous summit experiences.
I guess I'll go real quick. Yeah, we definitely chose the wrong track, which Marissa, I talked to you about, and my team agreed. So that stunk, but I definitely, I got some nuggets out of it. One in particular was, sharing how hard we do work. If you want good coaches, then share that you're a hardworking coach, and you'll get hardworking coaches. So I like that. And I mean, there was definitely different pieces of the training that I really enjoyed. I definitely agree that they should be shortened, because I too skipped out on the second day general session, which sounds like I missed some good stuff. When my team came back, they were fired up, and I was happy to hear their take on it. But I chose to skip that so that I could hang out with them, because I missed my own team's, going out. Granted, it was last minute, but they decided to all go out on the first night, and I was just too damn tired. And I wasn't going to miss it 2 nights in a row, so I went out on the second night and had to miss something. So I missed a training so that I could be with my team. For me, the takeaway from Summit was honestly also skipping out on the closing sessions, because it gave our team some really needed time to talk and hash a few things out. And I can feel the energy has completely shifted in my team, and I'm so freaking excited. We didn't have a team call last night because, well, one, I'm on vacation, but two, we just kind of want to soak things in, and I'm ecstatic with what went down. And so my takeaway from Summit was being with my team and just reconnecting and refueling ourselves. And it's awesome to hear, you know, Krista and Angie and Celia talk and hear their experience. And I mean, Krista, like, I'm so freaking excited that you like walked away with your why. Like, that's awesome. And I'm just excited that everyone, you know, and like Angie's story, like, holy crap, that's freaking amazing that you were on the street. And I don't know, just some really cool things happened. And I'm so excited with where our team is going. And so my biggest takeaway was the time spent with my team. To me, that was like higher up than the trainings for me this time around.
And I think that's what it gets more and more as you've been around for longer. That's what it gets more and more. That's why for me, I was like, I kept reiterating people, time with your team, time with your team. Like, that's the most important thing, like getting it to the happy hour, being all together, because that's really like, that's it. And also to be with the larger team, to know that you're a part of something that's even larger than like Team Malibu. Like, we're even bigger. You're not just this little island. Like, we're this huge island. Like, we're all working on it together. And as far as the general session, I don't think that you needed that. I don't think that you missed anything. I'm just going to let you know, like, it was a lot of it was building belief, and you have that already. So what, you know, our newer coaches and our newer team, they need that, but I don't necessarily think that like you and I do. So I don't think you missed anything at all with that.
I think one of, sorry to interrupt you, one of my favorite moments was part of Team Malibu was down in the gym in the morning, and then our little group was at the condo, like, and we were all down there doing different workouts in the morning. Like, that was one of my favorite moments from Summit, just like all of us being together. And then we like busted out some dance moves. Callie V was like, let's do like the Running Man. And so like, we were just like goofing off together. And it was one of the most fun moments of the entire trip.
But I was thinking we should have done, I should have freaking taught you guys my Insanity or my Size Live class. Because it's so fun and it's like super dancey. Like, we should have been like, let's do Size Live today. And we could have gotten video of it. I thought about that after. That would have been fun.
Next year.
Yeah, we can do it next year. Thank you for sharing, Steph. I'm so glad you had a good experience. And I'm glad that that was your takeaway. I truly think that time with your team at Summit is the key, is the most important thing. And that's, like I said, that was my feedback to Craig when he asked. I was like, you know, I really wish I would have just skipped everything and just went out to like the night events and just, you know, like the dinners and stuff. But I was just so exhausted. Like, I was so drained. I couldn't do it. And, you know, skipping even like the leadership ladder party and like the Billy Idol concert, like, I would have loved to have gone to that. I would have gotten more out of being in that experience with my team than going to those sessions. So anyway, now I know for next year, for me, unless they change it and make it leadership oriented, I don't see how, though, it's going to be like applicable to me. So I figure as the years pass and you keep going and going, you kind of know the information. So, and now, last but certainly not least, Joanne, looks like she's okay. No, it looks like she was frozen for a second.
Okay. Hi guys. I have a lot, but I'll go quick. I'm going to say the negative thing first because I want to get it out of the way, and I hate being negative, but I agree about the puppets and the whole, I know Michael Neiman tries to be funny, but I think it was like 35, 40 minutes that probably could have been eliminated from the show that we could have, you know what I mean? It just dragged. I feel like it dragged. I don't know. That was my thing too. I think it could have been shorter. A lot of us were exhausted. We go through these sessions and stuff like that. So that was my only complaint. Otherwise, it was, for me, the best summit I've ever been to. I don't know if it's because it's my third. I wrote things down. About the sessions, the workshops, I'm always wanting to learn more. Now, I did find myself not as stressed and not taking as many notes like everyone says, because we tend to know a lot of it already. But you know what? There's always little things that you pick up, nuggets that you forgot about that or whatever. And one thing that resonated with me that was re-emphasized for me is that you will attract what you are. If you want like somebody had mentioned already, you want a hardworking coach, you have to work hard yourself. You want an ambitious coach, you need to be ambitious yourself. So, I mean, I know that, but it was re-emphasized for me. And also, belief. I believe in Beachbody all the way. Every time I think about not being in my life, if I'm having a rough day or whatever, because, it's a hard business. and I think about not being in it, then I get upset. I can't imagine myself without it. So I have that belief, but being around the atmosphere and the event, like, just reinforces that even more. I'm like, yeah, this is just such an amazing place, and to be in an amazing community. And what Tanasia said, when Carl Deichler said the word love, I mean, this might not be for everybody, but for me, I've been really working hard on self-love, and not just self-love, you know, taking care of myself, but being able to project that love onto other people. Because, you know, I know Beachbody is a health and fitness business, but we're changing lives in a big way, and not just physically and health, you know, there's an emotional aspect to it. And I think that we need to spread love. And when he said that, it hit me, and I'm like, I don't know if he ever said that word before. Maybe he has, but it just hit me that day. And I was like, I don't think he's gone. And so I'm like, he's going in the direction that I'm trying to go. Like, so it was like parallel to me. So I really resonated with that. And I'm like, wow, I'm really loving this. I mean, I didn't think I could love it anymore. I wasn't even loving it more than that. So that was one thing. The happy hour. That's never a question for me when we should get together as a group at like the summit or the events. It's just not a question. I mean, I got to meet Shelly. I kept calling her Sherry because I get read her R in her last name. I'm like, why am I calling her? And it was because I always see Shelly Reader. So the R kept going in. You know, I'm 44, guys. It's like, anyway, Shelly. I got to meet Shelly, and it was just, it's great to meet the newer coaches too, and being able to relate to them, and remembering, you know, just what it was like being, you know, a newer coach, and then and being able to just connect with everybody and hug them in person. I mean, there's nothing, there's not enough words to explain that. Gary V, what I like that he said, because, you know, there's definitely a change in the Facebook algorithm. I noticed it big time, me personally. And I remember saying, gosh, this sucks, but oh well, I'm going to have to roll with it. And you know what? He's right. And especially with this company, so much is happening so fast with this company. It's evolving so fast. This is like just the beginning. There's going to be so many more changes. Some that we're going to be like excited about, some that we're going to be overwhelmed about because it's going so fast, and some that we're not going to like at all. But you know what? We just got to keep rolling with the punches, and you know, embrace the change, and just whatever. If we got to learn something new, Google it, YouTube it, whatever, figure it out, and just move forward so we can succeed. And last but not least, my most favorite part of the whole trip for me, and besides that workout and the Running Man and all that crazy stuff we did at the gym, that was so much fun, was the positive energy. I've always felt it at the events, but this was like different, better than any other time I've ever been. I feel like we connected so much this time. It's so much so that me and Cassie had a really negative experience the last 24 hours. Very negative experience. I canceled our flight. A whole mess of things. A lot of things went wrong. And because I think I left such a positive environment, two things happened. The first thing was I had a lot of sadness initially, like, wow, this is really sad. People were not helping us. People were mean to us. They weren't, you know, in the airport. It was with the flights. And all I could think was, wow, the Beachbody community overall, you know, there's always going to be a bad seed here and there, but the Beachbody community is such a positive, amazing community to be part of. We are so blessed to be around people that, like Carl said, love, that want to empower one another, not bring other people down, that want to help one another. I mean, the workouts, people like would move out of the way so they wouldn't hit you, and be respectful of your space. I mean, most of the time, you know. And here we are, we're begging to get, you know, our flight was going to leave in 2 minutes, and nobody was like, because Delta messed up. It was on their fault, and we're like rushing, and nobody wanted to help us. So I thought, God, how sad it is that these people can't be exposed more to, you know, more love or more positive energy. But because of that as well, the positive part of it was that we just had such an amazing positive experience that we were like, we're not going to let this get to us, because we know there's so much more. So I mean, we're able to take that with us, and and we connected so well, and I'm just excited for what the year's going to bring for all of us as a team. That's it. Sorry, I went on and on.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Sorry to hear about your trip home experience.
You know what? Seriously, it sucked, but there's so much. It was like there could be so much worse going on. Like we were just like, what? Really? We just were in disbelief how negative. I mean, I think, I swear to God, I really didn't have any negative experience at Summit besides the puppets. And I'm like, we step out into the real world, whatever, and it was like, wow, people really need help. overall, in general, people are just lost. It's just, I don't know. That was my thing.
Well, thank you guys, everybody, for being on and sharing. I appreciate everybody's share so much. And I know that this was, to have everybody on here is big. So I really appreciate all that you guys do. And I hope that we can iron out some team unity in our mastermind tonight. And thanks for sharing the summit experience with everyone. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a good night. See you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a good night, you guys.
Bye. Thanks, Marissa.